I have to start this over. This is bad. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of my podcast. And to be honest, I never really thought I would be doing this. Actually, that's a lie because I talk a lot. So this is honestly probably what I should be doing. But yeah, I'm a broke college graduate with a full degree, living at home, unemployed, broke baddie. So let's talk about it. So yeah, I have literally. Okay, let me start over. So, I just graduated in the month of December. It's currently January. I literally picked up everything, moved back home to Jacksonville, Florida, which, if you don't know where that is, it's probably the closest thing that you'll ever get to hell on earth. So, that pretty much sums it up for you. There's actually nothing to do, and there's a bunch of old people here and young kids, and that's about it. There's nobody my age here. I have no job. I feel like I have no future. I have no income. I have no money. And it kind of just feels like life is shitting on me right now. To be honest, look like shit, feel like shit, but it's all about perspective, it's all about mindset or whatever they say. So yeah, I guess I'm just trying to change that. This is kind of meant to be like a video diary, a video vlog. I mean, I think that means the same thing, but whatever, you get the point. To just kind of, I guess, see progress or just see where I'm going and just kind of like vlog and talk about my life. Like, I talk a lot if you couldn't tell, so I think this will help. And I tried like journaling, like I have a journal, but like bitch, my hand starts cramping and like I just can't. And I feel like it's just you always think all these things and then you can never write them down on paper. But anyways, okay, we're straying away from the point. Also, if you see this glare on my eyes, it's my glasses and I wear these. They're not real. I actually have 20/20 vision. I can see perfectly fine. I just wear them when I have bags under my eyes because I also don't sleep. Um so to kind of cover those, but I guess you can't see because I'm literally recording this on my laptop. So if it looks bad and sounds bad, that's why, and I apologize. And when I get the influencer money to buy a camera and a real microphone, I will. But I don't have that right now, so we're working with our resources. Anyways, yeah, so let's get into it. So literally, as I said, like I just graduated and like I feel like I should be feeling like on top of the world right now. How many times am I gonna say like, first of all? Okay. I feel like I should be on top of the world right now, and I am just not. And I think it's normal. I mean, I don't really know. I've never really been in this position. I mean, my parents have, but I don't know. I oftentimes am like comparing myself to other people, and it's really difficult because I know that everybody's supposed to be on their own journey and have their own path in life, and you can't really compare yourself, but it's like I know all these things, but I still do it. And it's hard. Like, I graduated, I didn't have a job, I didn't even have an internship. Well, I have had like internships in the past, but like I didn't have anything that I could make into a job and make into a future for myself. And I felt like I was going backwards because I'm moving home, and it doesn't really feel like where I'm supposed to be right now in my life. And I did try and take steps to like not let this happen, but nonetheless, I'm here, and like, rejection is redirection, and maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And, in all honesty, like, I do have plans, but they are just so far away that it doesn't feel like a reality yet. So everyone's like, oh, well, you're doing this and you're doing that. But it's like, yeah, that's in like 8 months. Like, what am I going to do with 8 months with nothing to do? And then I tell my mom that, and she's like, "Oh, you need to learn how to like relax and live life, and like this is, this is great. Like you have time to yourself for the first time in like, however long. Like you've always been doing school, been doing working, doing something, and like, I have I got my little part-time job back, but that's not real. But like, and she's just telling me to like appreciate this time, and like I really do want to, I just can't because I feel like I don't deserve it." And I feel like I should be working hard and pushing myself. And like I've always felt that way about myself. Like I just feel the need to relentlessly like push myself, but then sometimes I just don't. And I don't know if it's like ADD or something like that. Like I don't know. Like I'm looking back on it now and it's like I'm in this position where I've graduated and I don't really see the future for myself. And I don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow, like in the next week or 2 months or however long it may be, but it's just kind of a confusing path because it's like, well, I don't even deserve this time to myself because I didn't work hard enough, because I don't have anything to show for it. If that makes sense. Like, and I get everyone's life path is different and mine's maybe just taking a different route, but it's just really like disheartening and it's kind of discouraging. And, like, I think everybody kind of goes through this whether they want to admit it or not. And I don't care about talking about this stuff because I'm pretty much an open book, but I don't know, like, I guess I just want to say maybe this is a normal feeling, especially in your 20s. Oh my gosh. Everyone's like, your 20s, your 20s. They're so fun. They're so great, which they are. I'm not going to lie. I have been having the time of my life, but there's like a opposite side to that. It's like you're doing all these things, but you also have to be working as hard to push yourself. And I believe in that mentality. Like referencing back to like what my mom says about like, oh, just enjoy this time. And I'm literally always telling her, I'm like, no, like I cannot do that. This is just not how I am. I don't want to sit in the house all day and do nothing, which I don't, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just go relax, like, just sit down. I'm like, I am not wired that way. I cannot do that. I feel the need to be doing something and pushing myself. And like, I think that's a blessing and a curse. It's just, especially when you have all of this like energy and you don't know what to do with it. That's my thing. It's like I have all of this stuff I want to do. I just don't really know what I want to do or where I want to start, if that makes sense. But I mean, I don't know. It's just a lot. And I guess maybe if somebody's listening to this, you can relate and feel like seen and validated. I mean, not to like make this into this whole thing, but like, I don't know. I guess it kind of is. Um, and like, yeah, oh my gosh, the other day I was like talking to someone and I was like, yeah, just to have to say that I got this part-time job back and they're like, okay, yeah, cute. It's like it makes me want to jump off a bridge. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get banned or something for saying that, but like it just makes me want to like, oh my god, like I my whole life have said I am never gonna end up a certain way, and I feel like I am going down this path where that's where I'm gonna end up. I'm gonna end up unsuccessful with all of these dreams I never like accomplished and always wanted to do, which but then there's like a flip side of that where it's like, no, I know I'm gonna be successful, I know I'm gonna do this, I know I'm gonna do that, but it's like the devil and the angel on your shoulder, and it's like, which one do you want to listen to today? Honestly. Like some days I feel like I'm up here, the other days I'm just so down below, like in the depths of hell. Um but I don't know. I just think maybe this is what being in your 20s is for. I don't know. I mean, it's, a learning curve maybe, and just you live and you learn and you go on, take it day by day. But it's just like this is something I've always struggled with. It's like I don't like not seeing the next step. And this is what happens. It's like, you're in elementary school, then you're in middle school, then you're in high school, then you're thinking about college. Then you're in college and you're like, oh, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to get my degree and get a job. But then it's like you graduate. I mean, so I think there's people that are in my boat and some people that have jobs and, it's great. But it's like, okay, now what? That just all happened. It seemed like you always had the next step planned for you, and then you just wake up one day and it's done. And it's like, oh my God, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I don't know. Also, on top of that, they are pushing us in high school, which I'm glad. I literally graduated a semester early, by the way. I'm literally, first of all, I am the youngest person in my grade. That was that was me being dramatic, but like I am close enough to being the youngest person in my grade. My birthday is July 30th. There's people that are in the grade below, like I basically got, instead of waiting a year to like start kindergarten again and like be in the class below me, my parents put me ahead. So, and I have a few other friends that are like the youngest too. And like, I'm not kidding you. I was the last person in my all of my friend groups, the last to turn 21. The last person. So on top of that, being already younger, but I mean, you just kind of grow up with it. This is how it is. Like you are just, you don't even see it anymore. Like I don't even see that my friends are a year older than me. Like my friends are 22. This year they will be turning 23. I just turned 21 5 months ago. 6. But anyways, so on top of that, I'm in high school and I'm doing college credit. So then I get to college and I'm already got my first year done, my first couple semesters done, and then it's like everyone's, not competing, but it's just like this standard that you set on yourself to overachieve, and it's like you think it's gonna do something for you, but now I'm in this position. I'm like, well, why did I graduate a semester early? For what? Like, I think it's helpful if you are just always certain of like what you want to do, but nobody is. And then that's another issue. It's like, I'm 21 years old. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. Like, I mean, I do. Like, everyone has a general idea, but it's like, on top of that, everyone expects you to know all of these things about yourself at such a young age. And then you go back to people doing classes in high school that are college, and they're like, well, I'm going to do the 2 year college degree so then I can go to med school. What happens if you get to college and like, I don't want to go to med school? Now you have 2 years to be in college. You're going to graduate at 20, and no one is going to hire a 20-year-old. I mean, maybe I'm just very pessimistic, which this is all sounding like I am, but like, do you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if this has to do with like capitalistic America, not even like, this is like going so far down the tangent, but it's just like this like never ending wheel, and we're just always expected to be like spinning on it, and then it's like, now I'm just like, what do I do? And I feel so far behind, but somehow I'm also ahead, so it like, I'm also behind, like I graduated a semester early, but I'm like behind in life. So I don't really know how much of a win that is. But I think, with all this being said, like I don't want to sound like a pessimistic person and like whatever. I take everything with a grain of salt, and it's like I really am trying to be positive, and I think my mom is really trying to teach me a lesson in the fact of like, you are so young, and you're gonna wish when you're 30 years into your working life, or but literally, bitch, a year into your working life, damn, I wish I would have just fucking sat down and enjoyed these months I had off. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think everybody, everybody wants what they can't have. I am, in this position now, like I've said 40 times, like, I don't really have anything going for myself right now, which is probably why I feel the need to do this, because I have nothing to lose. And I'm just kind of like taking it day by day. Literally, first of all, I'm like making this sound like I've been like this for like 2 months. I've been like this for maybe 4 weeks, maybe. And with all of this being said, this has like been through the holidays. So it didn't really feel like a vacation, but like this is just to put in perspective for you that I cannot sit still. Like I need to be doing something. And like maybe this is me being psychotic, or maybe this is me just like, this is how I am, and this is like what's going to drive me to be successful. But anyways, the point is, so there's, this goes back to like pros and cons of everything. It's like, one day I'm going to wish I had this time, and it's like I know people that have said like, I just got into the working world way too fast. Like I wish I would have just taken some time off for myself, and like I'm so young, and now this I'm working, and it's great because you're making money, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a double-sided sword. Like I don't know, it's like you always want what you can't have. Like, yeah, like I want to have this time off, but then it's like when you have this time off, it's like you just feel so out of place, and then all these people are asking you like, oh, well, what's your plans? What do you got going on? Like, and it's like you tell them and it's nothing. And then you feel like a failure and a piece of shit. And it's like, oh. And like, to be honest, like, I am going to graduate school. But like I said earlier, like, that just, it's so far away in like October time that it does not feel real. Like, it doesn't feel like a real accomplishment. And that was another thing. First of all, let me clock it. When I got into graduate school, nobody cared. Like, okay, maybe this is getting too deep, but like, that's just another thing. And maybe this will get like a little too much, but it's like when you do all these things all the time, and I'm not saying I'm like the fucking, I don't know, like the last Coca-Cola in the desert. I don't know, that's a saying in Spanish, it makes sense. But the point is, I'm not saying, I'm God's gift to the world. That's it. Um, but it's like, especially like being the older sibling and like you're always expected to just have shit figured out and have shit done. So it's like when you actually are doing shit, it just seems like another regular day. And it's like you can't really celebrate your wins. And maybe that's why I feel like this. Like maybe that's why I'm having all of these like feelings of being unsuccessful and all of this stuff because I didn't really even get to celebrate my wins. Maybe I didn't have the time to. I don't know. I mean, wait, hold on. Because like I obviously did celebrate. Like my parents threw me a party and it was very much celebrated. But maybe it was just because it felt like it was always something I had to do. So it wasn't really something to be celebrated because it was always what had to be done. And this was just one of the boxes to check off. And, now that I'm like sitting here talking about all this stuff, like maybe that's just how I think about life and maybe that needs to change. Um, which I think it does. And I don't really know if this is helping anyone and resonating with anyone, but I don't know. The whole point that I wanted to like start this podcast, I should have probably said this at the beginning of the episode, is just like, I don't know, like just navigating life through your 20s and like just talking about things and talking it through and kind of like validating your experience. And like, I mean, right now, like I obviously don't have my friends with me, but like we like to talk about like some pretty deep stuff and stuff like that. So, that'll be fun to like plug into here. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. Also, how long are these supposed to be? I'm at like 17 minutes. Like, I can talk. Oh my God. Do you guys know my parents used to leave me alone at the freaking dining room table because I would take too long eating because I would be talking the whole time. And my mom was like, and my dad was like, we have a job. We cannot, literally, we cannot afford to sit here and listen to you yap all night. So, but I had a lot going on in elementary school when I was doing this. Like, I had a lot to say. I was doing a lot at Durban Creek Elementary, girl. The fuck? Anyways, yeah. So maybe this is actually the career path for me. Maybe that's, hey guys, I fucking solved the whole issue. That's it. Anyways, my God, yeah, I actually do really want to be an influencer though. Like, those bitches make money. Like, sorry, that sounded so crude. Okay. Anyways, back to the point. Um, yeah. So I don't know. It just I mean, I guess the whole point is like to celebrate your wins and learn from your losses. But it's just hard. Like especially in this job market, like you see these TikToks of these people and they're like, I've been searching for a job for 8 months, and I'm like, what the also, how are people getting jobs? Because it's like I see these people and they're like, I have not found a job, I have not found a single job offer. I've applied to over like fucking 1,000 jobs and I have no offer. And then those people are like, yeah, I'm living alone in New York. Yeah, I got a job. What? Like, I don't know. I think I've always just I mean, I don't know. Okay. That is crazy though. Like in this job market, in this economy, like like it is actually hard out here. But I think that's why I'm gonna go get my master's though. Like, not that anyone cares or nobody asked, but like, just to like kind of have that extra education. But it's like then I was talking to somebody about it. It's like, okay, yeah, I go to master's school. Let's say I spend these 8 months doing jack shit and I have no real job, no experience, which I'm gonna make this clear. I'm not gonna let that happen because when I get something in my head, I get something in my head and I'm gonna do it. Like I don't care if everyone's telling me to sit down and calm down and just fucking chill out. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. I, I'm just not. I'm very stern about the things I want. But, um, but where was I going with that? Oh my God. Um, oh yeah. Okay. So I wanted to get my master's because, okay. Wait, hold on. I remember. So, so let's say I don't spend anything like getting a real job or anything to put on my resume in this time. I'm going to go to master's school. And when I graduate, no one is going to hire me. Because then the excuse is going to be like, I don't have any experience. But the excuse now is that I also don't have any experience. So, also, I'm like looking at the thing. I'm sorry, I have like ADD. I was like looking at the thing and it's like lighting up green so heavily. And I really hope I was not screaming into this thing the whole entire time because that would be really bad. So sorry for your ears. Yeah, but it's just always something. It's there, like there's always. Hold on. Sorry, my brother came in my room, so I had to deal with that. Oh my god, and then oh wait, okay. I don't want to like keep straying away from points, and if you haven't noticed, I have a really hard time staying on topic, and maybe that's just because I'm like rambling from my head and just, my thoughts. But I'm really sorry if this is like actually hard to keep up with because I actually bounce around so much. Like my friends the other day, she was like, "You tell 5 stories in the span of you trying to tell one." But it's like, yeah, because like, bitch, you need the background information, you need the background characters. Like, anyways, the point is, I want to finish the point I was making before, which was that, then the excuse is gonna be when I graduate from my master's degree, like, oh, you don't have any experience. And then it's like you put that on top of, first of all, the job market is really bad. And I'm thankful enough and I'm lucky enough to have a support system and a family that I can go back and I can fall back on. But there's people that don't. And then it's like, then they have to work just to support themselves because not a real job is giving them a job. And then that's looked down upon and then they can't get experience. And then it's just a whole mess. Like, I just feel like everyone is like fighting hand and nail to like get a spot, but like also I'm not because look at me right now, like doing nothing. But anyways, the point is, it's like then that's gonna be the excuse of like, hey, like you don't have any like applicable experience for this at all. But it's like I just need someone to give me the platform and give me the opportunity, and I'll be good. I can do it. I can pop my shit. I can do what I need to do. I'll do it for a check. I will. No shame in that. But I don't know, it's just like a problem after a problem, and maybe like, such is life and that's how it's supposed to be, but it's just a lot. And like, I don't know, like I feel alone in it too at the same time because it's kind of like taboo to talk about. It's like I don't want to talk about how I think I'm failing at my own life, but I think that, a lot of people can maybe relate, as I've kept saying. And like, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's true. Like, I think also like social media does not help. It's like everyone's posting the peaks of their life, and it's like when you feel like you're in a pit, it's all you're looking at is everybody's peaks, when in reality, everyone has their own up and downs and they're only posting their ups, and it's just hard to see, especially like, and maybe this is me sounding like an entitled brat and like, just suck it up and work harder, but I feel like that's not really what the issue is. But I mean, I don't know. And then on top of that, I'm moving back home. That is just another beast. Like, to have all of your freedom stripped away from you. And that's so dramatic. And I'm so dramatizing that. But it's just so weird. Like, I have to start lying to my parents again. I haven't done that since high school. Like, and I'm an adult. But it's just like, I don't want them to know certain things. They don't have to know certain things. They don't have to know who I'm with, what I'm doing, you know. I was gonna say whose money I'm spending, but like that sounded really bad. But like, do you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't, and it's just so weird to have to tell them that. Like I used to go days without talking to my parents, and maybe that sounds really bad, but I was busy. Like I actually like had a life in Tampa, but and it's just such a culture shock. Like, wait, yeah, it's a culture shock to like have to move back home and be like, this is where I'm going, this is who I'll be with. Like I'll see you when I see you. The other day, I got interrogated about going to Walmart. I'm not kidding. I literally got interrogated about going to the Walmart 2 minutes down the road. And like my parents are chill, like they're cool. They don't care what I do. You know, they trust me enough, but it was just one of those things where my mom had got something for me at Walmart and then I was like, "Okay, I'm going to go to Walmart." And she was like, "Well, what are you going to get at Walmart?" And I was like, I just have to get some stuff." And she was like, "Well, why? I was just there for you. I just got you that stuff you asked for." And I said, "Well, yeah, now I just need more stuff." She's like, "Yeah, but why didn't you just say that one?" I said, "Girl, stop. I am going to the local Walmart and you are not going to stop. I'm going to Walmart. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to get at Walmart. You don't really need to know. I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to purchase with my hard earned American USD what I deem fit." Like, oh my God. Anyways, but I get it. It's just out of love. And like, it's just an adjustment. Like, the point is, on top of everything I'm feeling, then it's like having to learn to coexist with your family again. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe this sounds like I'm being dramatic and like none of this is really a valid issue, but I don't know. I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially in, your early 20s and maybe not the whole college thing because, college isn't for everybody and, but I don't know. This kind of like, again, why I'm saying like I wanted to just like talk about it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I guess the whole point is take it day by day and just see what happens, but it's just hard. Like you want to have all these dreams and you want to have all of these like aspirations, but then it's like the bomb of reality comes in and makes you think that you can't do it because maybe it's not realistic, if that makes sense. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna be this successful and blah 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 blah, like whatever. That's what I'm gonna do. And then it's like, well then reality kicks in and it's like, well, maybe I can't do that. Maybe I can't do this. And like everyone's like, yeah, chase your dreams, pursue your dreams. But it's like that is not a reality for everybody, unfortunately. Like not everybody has that ability and not everybody has, the ability to do so. And it's sad because you don't want to say you're giving up on your dreams, but that it's just like another layer to it all. It's like, okay, I have all these aspirations and have all these things I want to do, and now it's like maybe that's a waste of time, and maybe I should just go get a corporate life and sell myself to corporate America so I can like get to the other subliminal goals I have in my life, and I don't have to like leech off my parents. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound so pessimistic about this whole entire thing because, like I said, I do have future plans, but as I also said, it is kind of far away, and I still do have to think about my future even outside of that. Because then it's like, I don't know, like, who really knows this, but I'm literally moving to Spain, and I'm selling my car, I'm selling my belongings, and I'm moving countries. Sue me, but I just couldn't do this anymore. Um, and then it's like, well, what if I want to come back? What if I want to do this? And I think I'm thinking about it from such a negative headspace in the sense of it's like, okay, well, what if this is the best thing that could happen for you? What if you going through this right now and all of these things I have been saying this whole time, like, what if this was always what it was meant to be because it's going to be what pushes you in the end? And I think it's just a really hard mindset to get out of. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And I mean, I know I do. And I think, like I've said a few times, like I don't want to sound so pessimistic, but I think at the end of the day, like I've just become this way, unfortunately, and I'm really am trying hard to change it and see the world for what it is and see it as a flourishing world of opportunity and all these great things can happen to me, but it's kind of hard, especially when all of these things are happening that I just explained. So, yeah. I mean, I guess the lesson from this episode is to just take it day by day and not compare your journeys to other people's journeys, even though that is so difficult. Like, I am the worst person about doing that. I am constantly comparing myself, and it is so tiring, to be honest. I'm so tired. And I mean, I don't think I voice that a lot. I don't think I really tell people about that because I don't want to sound a certain way, but it's true. And I think all of us do it and no one admits to it. But you just have to stop. And like, even, oh my gosh, even as a woman, like, this is a crazy crossover, but it's like, you have to be so many things at one time. You have to. And then on top of this, it's like, now I have to be, and I want to be like a successful businesswoman in a career and have all of these things. And it's just like, I don't know. And but you also can't show your weaknesses because then that makes you a certain way to everybody else, including yourself. And the reason I bring that up is because then I'm like, I'm talking about like, to my friends, and like we all constantly do it, and it's so damaging and it's so tiring. And it's like, even whether it be like, physically, like, oh, comparing yourself to looks and about superficial stuff, or like career wise, like I've been saying, or life wise. And it's like, you just feel the constantly need to compare yourself, and it's like, are you even living the way that you want to live? And maybe I should be asking myself that. Am I even doing what I want to do? Am I even living the way I want to live? Or am I just so busy comparing myself to an idea that other people have of me that I have to complete? And I mean, I think that is just a bigger question. But, anyways, I should probably wrap this up. I think that was enough of a rant. And to be honest, you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing my voice. So, yeah, hopefully the next episode can be a little bit more insightful. I promise not every single thing is going to be depressing and sad that comes out of my mouth, but I just wanted to just start this off by being an open book and being transparent, and that's what I want this to be. And I'm going to give it my all. Like, not to sound like so dramatic, but like, I'm going to pour what I have into this and what I'm thinking into this. And I don't really care what anyone has to say, to be honest. I mean, I kind of do, but I won't let you guys know that. But yeah, I think this is for me, and for me to look back on. And I don't know. I want to spread my words of wisdom. Like, I didn't just spend an hour like shitting on myself and reality and